Let's now cross to SABC reporter Nomzwanele Mngoma, who's also joining us to give us an update on the latest that has taken place. You are in the Eastern Cape, Nomzwanele. What's the latest you can give us at this stage?
Greetings to you and to the viewers at home. At the moment, it's still the same information that we got from the police. I believe it's the same information that you have in your intro, that it's 5 people, 2 are injured, and there are also 2 survivors who managed to go to neighbors to tell them, or to tell them to call the police, because they were just trying to get any help that they could get. But these incidents are common in this area. You'll remember that we've reported issues where 10 people have been gunned down, where 7 family members lost their loved ones. But there are also recent incidents that the local chief Mfundo Bovulengwe will be telling us. Chief, welcome to the SABC. You've mentioned that in a space of 2 months, 20 people have been gunned down. What is the motive behind all these killings in this area?
The motive or the challenge is the stock theft. They started robbing or stealing people's cattle and sheep, and then some of them are making revenge. If you can see the incident that we're in, when you look at it, it might be the revenge, because in the next neighboring houses, some family members were gunned down. If you go over the bridge in the past 2 weeks, a husband and his wife were gunned down. Next to another village, a husband and the wife have been gunned down. Go to Mkegezweni, 2 people have been gunned down. In fact, if you pass 3 days without any person being killed, it is a surprise to us. In the area of Bityi, killing people, it's a hobby. So that's why we say we want the government to intervene decisively. We want the government to upgrade the police station. We want the government to give police necessary resources like cars. At least we can see that there is human capital, but we need cars, we need horses, because some of people who are doing this they are using horses. We also want police to have horses and bikes so that they can be able to chase these criminals.
Chief, we've attended many imbizos where ministers were engaging the communities, and we've seen that communities were not open because they were scared. And you've been calling for these things that you want, for these resources, and you've been promised before. And you've also been calling for a police station that will be near the villages. What has government delivered so far?
So far, we've seen that at least the number of police in the police station have increased. Again, since we see that during Minister Mchuni's arrival, there is a change. We hope even Bityi, that change is going to happen.
And lastly, Chief, just coming back to this household, it's the parents that were killed, 3 children, 2 survivors. Are there 2 other children who survived? Are there any other people, maybe who are elderly people, who will be able to take care of these kids that have been left behind?
Not that we know. And then we hope that the government is going to intervene with social development, is going to intervene so that the ones that are left can be protected.
Thank you, Chief, for your time.
Thank you.
That was Chief Mfundo Bovulengwe, a local chief who've been in many cases, or that we've engaged with in many cases that we have attended in this area, and he has been calling for government to intervene, but instead of crime to decrease in this area, it is escalating. It's back to you in studio.
Nomzwanele, I just want to perhaps get clarity on this. The report we have is that the gunmen had opened fire on a married couple and then opened fire thereafter on an adjacent dwelling, the neighbors that is. Do we know if they were a singular target or if they were 2 separate targets? And the 2 children in question that you had spoken to the chief about, who are the parents of the 2 children?
The parents are the ones who were killed in a rendezvous, and then the kids were in another house in the same household.
Right. And given that the neighbors were also shot after the married couple, do we have any information about whether or not they were a singular target or if those were two separate incidents?
At the moment, we do not have those answers for those questions, but we are hoping that as soon as we get more information from the police, they will be able to tell us more. And we are joined by the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Premier Oscar Mabuyane. I think we can just squeeze him in just to get more information on the intervention that the government will be doing. Premier, we're coming back from a funeral of a mass killing. We are here where a similar incident happened. The people in this area have been calling for government to intervene. What does this mean to the government? Is there a loophole that you guys are missing in these criminal activities that are happening?
Thank you very much. Norma, the government has really been working hard in this particular area of Bityi across. You would understand even police subs has been upgrading the police station to give it a higher grade. There's a new station commander that has been brought in to reinforce simply because of cries that have been happening. Former Minister Bityi has been here with me on numerous occasions in Imbizo trying to deal with the problems in this area. Yes, the problem has been recurring, and the level or the propensity to kill it's worrying. It's becoming a very traumatic experience even on us as leaders in this province. But police are doing their level best, and the provincial commissioner has assured me that they are putting together the multifaceted kind of a team, multidimensional team that must make sure that this is brought to an end. And we're going to be working with police, but clearly we need to get rid of guns that are in these households across. People have been killing, and it's easy to look at it and trace. The police station with the new station commander has activated some cases that have been here historically. So this could be part of the challenge, the response and reaction to those kind of cases, people trying to clear out evidence and all. So we've got to work with community, we've got to work with traditional leaders and all that. I'm happy that traditional leaders were here today as well with us, assuring us. And it's clear this is a low-hanging, we can easily get it. So police with their 72-hour activation plan, they should be able to arrest. This time around, we cannot sleep without getting these criminals. We've got to get rid of them from this community once and for all.
Premier, in Lusikisiki, the suspects that have been arrested, they are ex-convicts for murder, and it is becoming a concern to residents, because they are saying even if there are arrests that are being made, but when these people are released, they come back and do the same crimes that they were arrested for.
Yes, exactly. That's what we are observing. That's why we are saying the entire ecosystem must function in an integrated way. We must be able to look at kind of correctional measures that we're putting for those who are in jail. Is it a question of those who are in jail not being corrigible, or they are really incorrigible? So it's a question of us looking deeper, looking at the laws that are also regulating that space. So it's important. As yes, we are aware, a number of other incidences in the urban setup. We are told is control, is influenced by those who are in jail. So all those kind of things, police are putting their kind of focus on those areas to nip them in the bud. I can tell you the police response has improved a lot. There's been a lot of work that is happening, but police are overwhelmed. I say that, I've said it before, we need more of that. We wanted to deal with this problem once and for all. It can be. Currently it's between Alfred Nzo and Owarutambo, these mass killings. As we stand here, we might leave this area with another story coming up, because it's rural areas, it's difficult to police around these areas. We need communities to stand up. In Kumbu, people who were patrollers were killed just by looking after the community, looking after their livestock. So I can tell you these criminals are brazen and they've declared war. We're not going to be praying when people are fighting and they are killing men and women, children. So it tells you the level of criminality that is here. I suspect there are people who are doing business about killing people. Clearly, I don't think it's just it happens coincidentally. These are planned things. These are organized crimes. So crime intelligence should not be sleeping. at all. We can avert this, we can prevent some of these not to happen. But clearly, we've got to get the system functioning properly.
Thank you, Premier.
Thank you.
That was the Premier of the Eastern Cape, Premier Oscar Mabuyane, just telling us that they will be looking deep into the laws that are there to prevent crimes. Back to you in studio.
Nomzanele, thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Premier Oscar Mabuyane mentions there the number of guns that end up in the hands of criminals. That is the reason a number of these crimes and killings are happening.